All right, so everyone knows that George Washington's biggest claim to fame was chopping down his father's cherry tree, right? Well, really, he was the first president of the United States, which is a pretty big deal. But I think even more than that is he signed the U.S. Naval Act in 1794. Although the Navy is claiming a birth date which is coming up next week, October 16th, 1775. We actually use 1794 because that's when George Washington made it happen in Congress. So from the time that we gained our independence from Great Britain, we were very vulnerable. We no longer had the protection of the motherland. So first the French attacked us in the quasi-war, and this was due to royalties that we owed to the French crown. They didn't have much success. And also Britain in 1812, that's the War of 1812. This is Britain again trying to show some force, and we crushed both of them with the USS Constellation and 5 other frigates, and those were known as the 6 first frigates. Down here you have the Mexican-American War. The Navy played a really big role in this war, transported 13,000 troops in one day with equipment and artillery, and that was a very decisive advantage in that war. Over here you have the Civil War. This actually never took place. It was a proposed idea by Admiral Winfield Scott, where they would leave from the new colony, go around to the seceding states, and go up the Mississippi and stop subdue all the traveling and really win the war. And this is another picture of a Civil War battle where the Union Navy really was a big advantage for the North. So from this point up to World War II, some very treacherous times. The Navy went from 51,500 men, 6,000 vessels, down to like 48 boats. Only 6,000 men. It was really bad. But from that point, the new Navy was born, and it got pretty big, but it wasn't ready for the U-boats that the Germans brought to World War II. They really tore up not just our military, but all the Allied forces. A lot of freighters, a lot of artillery boats, and of course military boats as well. 2,700 and I think 29 ships were sunk because of the German U-boats. So that's a big number. They were really unstoppable. This really made us realize what we had to do with our sonar capabilities and our submarines as well. And so we stepped up the game, and so we got submarines. This is actually a picture of me, really goofy right here, when I was in the Navy. That's sonar control. That's where we did our operations. This is a cool picture too. It's the same thing, but with the lights out. Here you have a diesel submarine. These are no longer being used by first world countries like us. You might find some in South Africa or Australia or something like that. This is the SSBN. This is a ballistic nuclear submarine, really fast. They're all really quiet, of course. And then this is the SSGN. This shoots nuclear missiles. You really can't tell, but this is where Navy SEALs can actually come out and float up to the surface and go to battle from 100 feet under the water. So that's a pretty cool weapon of war. So, and my job was actually to detect them. So that's what I did in the Navy. And then, so basically, from 1968 until now, from World War II, which actually ended before 1968, no naval ship has been attacked. Actually, I apologize, none have been captured by an enemy force, except for USS Pueblo. North Korea took over this boat because we were gathering intelligence, and this is the disgruntled sailors. They had to stay in captivation for a year, and this is what they told the North Koreans was a good luck sign. You can look it up, it's pretty funny. And since they didn't know the language barrier, they bought into it. So Pretty funny there, a little comic relief. So I want to play this. I'm not sure. I guess. Sorry about that. So this is on to the next part.
The Nimitz can steam at over 55 kilometers an hour. Sail for over 20 years without refueling. And house 6,000 men and women. She can detect threats over 500 kilometers away and launch a supersonic fighter every 20 seconds to intercept them. She is a masterpiece of modern engineering. The USS Enterprise takes to the sea in November 1961. Her 8 reactors make her the largest nuclear power facility in the world, able to supply the electrical needs of a city of 500,000 people.
Alright, so this is a little bit outdated. Basically, they only need 4 nuclear reactors now. That was 1961. They even go faster. I can't tell you the top speed. It's top secret. I think they can go well over 100 miles an hour, which on the water is ridiculous to imagine, especially something that weighs that big. But basically, the model to the idea here is, I believe that this ship alone could win a war all by itself. It doesn't need anything else, and we have 10 of them, and they launch these jets right here. All right, this is the U.S. Navy Blue Angels. As you know, the Thunderbirds were just here. I think the Blue Angels are better. I'm a little biased, but they're all American, so that's good. This is the F-18 Hornet. These are the weapons that one of those carries. All right. You have the F-22 Raptor that's flying upside down. Some of these are joint forces. So the Air Force flies some of these, but all of them are made to take off from carriers. These are the different versions. And this is the F-35C Lightning. So those are Navy, Air Force. So far you've seen water. You've seen how the Navy floats on the water, and you can attack from above the water, below the water, from the air, and now you got the Navy SEALs. So they're pretty much the baddest in the world, most would say. Stands for sea, air, and land, so all by itself it encompasses all land areas. And also UDT stands for Underwater Demolition Team, so they do a lot of stuff, really high tech. And so it's really not just the water. The Navy really controls so many different parts of a battlefield. These are statistics. Some are a little grim, but these are all the deaths from all the branches that we've ever tracked. So the Air Force, only 4,216 men have died, and then the Navy, 78,401. Marines, 47,662 in the Army, and you can see the difference here. Basically, you have to keep in mind that the Marines were largely a part of the Navy. They're still a part of the Department of the Navy, but their mission was no different from the Navy up until World War II. So anything prior to that would have been counted as a Navy fatality. So, and then you have to consider that the ways in which the Navy affects the battlefield compared to the other branches and the deaths that occurred, I really think, success to fatality ratio, the Navy is the greatest fighting force in the world. And that's why I say they're all on to top. So that's it. Thank you.